All right, we're live, I think. Probably. Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Cutrone, and this is Upon the Lake of Diamonds, the Greyhawk Channel's premiere, and I think only Blades in the Dark campaign that I'll be running for the fall season. So happy to have you here for episode 3, the Best Laid Plans. Yes, it's going to be a fun time. I must say right at the top, unfortunately, we're going to be down a player as Katie and Clave are taking a little bit of a break after our short hiatus of 1 week. So we wish them all the best and hope that everything goes well on their end. But for today, I do have 3 other lovely jubblies over here. So I'll go ahead and toss it over to y'all. Jess, hello.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there.
Yes.
How's it going?
Yes, it's very good to see you. How are you doing? Who you playing? Where can we find you?
Well, since you asked,
Yeah,
my name is Jess. Sorry, I'm the worst.
I'm thrilled
hi,
with how this is turning out.
It's great. It's going fantastically. Keep going.
Hi, I'm Jess. You can find me at go_JG on Twitch and Twitter for all the things. And I am playing the chorus, which shall sing upon the final setting of the suns. You're good. You're good fire friend. You know, it's good. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Indeed. I cannot think of a better mantra to keep in mind during this very good game. To Jess's, I don't know, I can't remember stage directions. If somebody is to the left on screen, never mind. Right next to Jess is a very good friend of mine by the name of Julian, playing Ophiuchus. I've sort of pronounced it correctly.
We're going to progress little by little each episode so that by the end you'll just be able to say Ophiuchus with no pause in the middle whatsoever.
Exactly.
You'll be able to say his name perfectly in his obituary.
Hey, spoilers, first of all.
It's uncharacteristically... It's uncharacteristic of me to actually have to pause in the middle of some character's name. Anyway, Julian, who are you? What you doing? How you doing? And who you playing?
Hey, it's obvious I'm playing Ophiuchus, who is the whisper of this campaign, who is a lovely that likes to mess around with dark spirits and tinker with things and turn ghosts into juice and stuff like that. But hopefully we won't be doing that this session. We have a little gnome that we have to take care of. You can find me on Jackal and Hare, but I'll do those plugs later.
All right.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. We can't wait for the plug extravaganza down at the end. Katie, unfortunately, as I said at the top, is absent. We miss you. Hope that you're doing well. Hope to have you back on sooner rather than later. As we turn our attentions to Michael.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello. My name is Michael, and I'm here to say I'm playing Blades in the Dark today. Anyway, I didn't mean for that to go that way.
You could have still gone with in a major way. Like that would have.
That would be just too derivative, I think.
Too cliche.
Anyway, hi.
Anyway.
My name is Michael. I'm playing Sufyan, who is probably going to die soon.
From pun damage.
Exactly. It's just psychic damage. Because this is definitely a D&D game.
It's decidedly not. It's like our own thing.
You can also find me over on Jackal and Hare on Twitch. Tonight at 8, we are continuing our amazing pirate adventure. We'll see how it goes, but that's the only plug I will do right now.
Alrighty. And where can we... Did you already say where we could find you on Twitter?
Oh, on Twitter. That's a good point. At Michael L. Bradley. Or at DD Divescast for my podcast that has been on hiatus an unexpected number of weeks.
Oh, I thought this was, within comfortable estimates, this show has been on hiatus.
No, it's 100% not.
Yeah, that, but not. All right, well, we hope to see the return of it very, very soon. And we would like to, at this point in the proceedings, give voice, of course, of thanks to those who support us here at the Greyhawk Channel. First and foremost, obviously, always to the Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers to this lovely, lovely place. Cannot thank you enough for your support. And specifically for Twitch subscribers, September is still going along, so if you, have the chance to maybe gift to one of your favorite streamers, whoever they may be, the people that you watch on occasion and might play very good role-playing games consistently in a very, very good world. If that's maybe something that you would like to do, you could go ahead and actually subscribe on Twitch. Gift subscriptions at a discounted price, if I'm not mistaken. Or if you already have an Amazon Prime account and you're not using your Twitch Prime subscription, chuck it the way of your favorite streamer who might be live right now,
Who's live right now?
I don't know. I think we are. Are we?
No, we're not actually.
Oh,
Theoretically.
No.
That's not true. I'm so sorry. Please continue.
All right. Otherwise, you can obviously support us on Patreon. And we will be appreciative of it. Secondarily, well, not secondarily, but second on the list that I see right in front of me, we are actually supported by Roll20. All our games are powered through Roll20, the world's leading virtual tabletop of choice to the discerning DM or RPG group. As we are officially supported, you can actually, if you've never heard of them, if even you're just sort of confused by the concept of a virtual tabletop, you can actually go to roll20.net and find out why Roll20 is one of the best, one of the best things that has happened to the sphere of RPGs in a while. Truly just a very damn good service that Greyhawk Channel. Thanks so much for their support. As the third item on my list, I suppose, it might be nice if y'all could also, check out Heroic Maps, our official battle map sponsor. They actually have a library of more than 300 maps over on DriveThruRPG. If you just type in Heroic Maps in the search bar, a plethora of work comes up, all of wonderful quality for all your battle map needs. Heroic Maps is the answer. And in addition to this, we have Tabletop Loot as another sponsor for the Greyhawk Channel. You can actually go to tabletoploot.com, enter Greyhawk in the coupon code box, and get 15% off of your dice order. Yes, Tabletop Loot, purveyor of not pine polyhedrals, fine polyhedrals, plastic and of brilliant design. Honestly, just some of the best on the platform. If you're thinking about maybe, getting yourself a little bit of a pre-Christmas gift, like if you want to precede Christmas by 3 months and give yourself something, pretty nice for 15% off, go to tabletoploot.com, enter in coupon code Greyhawk at checkout, and you get 15% off. Yes, very fun time. Speaking of coupon codes, of course, our Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers actually get coupon codes to rueinc.com and Cantrip Candles in the private section of our Discord. Ooh, very nice. So a little bit of extra goodies that our Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers, which you can certainly become very easily by hitting subscribe on Twitch or, going over, taking a gander at our Patreon. And, get yourself some more tabletop accoutrement for your dice rolling, good smelling, very beautifully designed needs. All right. Outside of that, I can't think of any more sort of lip service to be paid for now. Just as a warning at the top of the session, as we're down a player, maybe a little bit of a shorter game that we have, but we're thankful that you're here nonetheless, and if you're watching on YouTube, sup. Hope to see you live. All right. I procrastinated enough. Man, that's some hard water.
Mike's hard water.
Yeah.
It's just vodka.
This is just straight up vodka.
It's just a White Claw at that point.
It's not alcohol, please, for the love of God. It's just water. I'm just very crap at drinking. Right. So, Chorus, Ophiuchus, Sufjan, you and Clave were all called to the hideout, situated within a hidden portion, if I'm not mistaken, please at any point correct me if I'm wrong, of the south side district of Diamond Lake. A place right to the sort of offshoots of the vein, and specifically the heart, where commerce and coin flow freely. You are within a warehouse, if I'm not mistaken, formerly owned by Ophiuchus's... Ooh, that was a mouthfeel. Ophiuchus's parents...
Do my parents cause you that much pain?
No, your name goes...
Just call me Ophi.
Ophi, okay. By Ophi's parents.
Call him Mucus.
Situated amidst their laboratory is down a hidden staircase whose fifth stair is actually kind of dodgy. There is a man by the name of Ewan Hallowed River, a member of the Church of St. Cuthbert, if I'm not getting the things mixed up at this point in time. But a member of the Church of St. Cuthbert who has been sympathetic to your, shall we say, struggles against the machine present here in Diamond Lake. Diamond Lake being, let's just say, one of the harder-pressed towns on Earth, especially within Greyhawk, being sort of carved up by these mine managers and several other parties that are just full of great people. As it stands, however, Ewan Hallowed River has yet to describe the job as it stands. And so we must now settle the score. Within Blades of the Dark, quick side tangent, these wonderful, wonderful people execute what are known as scores, which are basically these actions that the gang undertakes against other gangs in order to gain notoriety, coin, etc., etc. To live dangerously is the name of the game here. And so, Ewan approaches you, and you must sort of, shall we say, coordinate with me exactly how we're going to plan and engage this out. Now, a score, obviously, as I said off camera, is a single operation with a particular goal. Usually it will fall into one of three categories: a criminal activity, seizing a claim, or a special mission or goal determined by the players. A score can be as long and involved as you wish, or as short and sweet. There might be lots of rolls, or just a few actions to resolve it. We have to play to really find out what happens. So, the NPC in question that will be sort of catering this job to you is suggesting criminal activity. Ewan describes to you, and I can't really do the very good voice that I came up with. One, because I didn't write anything down at the moment.
It's just Ian McGregor.
The Bear Browns. And two, because I kind of forgot what Ewan McGregor sounds like. I don't know how.
All you need is love.
Out of hell with it. So, Ewan describes to each of you, down here in sort of the battle map of your hideout, basically that your fine, short-statured friend by the name of Tidwoad, who you, as per our last session, which you can watch on YouTube, go ahead and do so, youtube.com for, I think the Greyhawk Channel is all you need to look up. Anyway, as per your last conversations with Tidwoad, you merely rendered a tithe. Nothing that would grease the palm too severely, but certainly something that would allow Tidwoad to comfortably turn his attentions elsewhere, should the occasion arise where you might might be arrested or otherwise, be convicted for criminal activity or accused of it by rival gangs who wouldn't go to the police. However, Ewan has received information that maybe your opportunity to take vengeance upon Tidwoad and his sort of presumptuous kind of heir has finally come. You see, there are obviously several claims that each of you are familiar with Tidwoad's bank. It's impregnable. It's this very centralized place, sort of baked in within the firmament of Diamond Lake. Problem being, sometimes, on occasion, it needs to get money from one place to another. Now, Tidwoad, as a general rule of thumb, has been very, very particular about where exactly his money is stored and any investments that are outside the city, how those are guarded. Ewan happened to hear amidst a sort of confessional that a particular person who went to the Church of St. Cuthbert sort of spilled his guts about. This person apparently had a wealth of information inside the potential operations for a caravan. Well, call it a caravan. It's more like a couple of carts laden with gold that Tidwoad was going to send back to Greyhawk for indeterminate purposes that the person who was confessing said that it was immoral, that it was something that they could not support for whatever reason. And so they decided it best to absolve themselves of this terrible sin which had clung to their soul, and purify themselves with lashes and confession. Much to the delight of the chief orator of the Church of St. Cuthbert, who's, shall we say, into the flagellation portion of the religion. As time has gone on, however, Ewan has been able to drag out a bit of information from this particular person. Ewan does not give the name, simply to protect identity and whatnot, but presents to each of you a potential score. Now, as you are all bravos, as was determined the last time that we met, a couple of weeks ago, your crew takes on particular jobs with zeal and aplomb. For bravos specifically, y'all are very much in tune with battles, extortions, sabotages, and smash and grabs. Basically, these sort of violent operations that take over a particular objective and fulfill it to the best of your abilities. Your abilities mainly being violent. Now, don't wish-wash on me, Jess. I see that little, are they violent or not? No.
I mean, we have some violence, but we also have the face. Have you seen this pretty boy that's with us?
Very true. Very true. We shall.
See, on my camera, they're pointing at me.
Oh, am I? On my camera, I was pointing at Julie.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna head out.
But the thing is that I'm not the face. Michael is the face.
Yeah, you're the body, I think.
I'm the mind, thank you.
Okay.
Get lost.
So, while some crews do plot and scheme, some sneak around, some get entangled with the occult, bravos fight. When you play bravos, you earn XP when you execute a successful battle, extortion, sabotage, or smash and grab operation. Excuse me. What Ewan is describing to you, or putting forth to your attention, is that for a cut of the, excuse me, For a cut of whatever is laden on those carts, he will provide all information that has been provided to him by the confessor. This is basically him trying to hire a job for you. Or hire y'all out for a job. But, well, collapsing into roleplay real quick, Ewan stands with sort of his arms crossed. You get the sense that there is an internal strife that kind of clings to him. But he settles it with a sort of, trembling hand to his chest and breathes in very deeply. I understand, of course, that what you offer is, shall we say, only in the interests of those who you might assist, rather than certain parties that might be undeserving. This is why I come to you. I understand. Tidwoad is a perpetual thorn in your side. And he's been no friend to the church. Perhaps then a bit of pruning in the garden might be needed. If you would be so inclined, of course.
We're all friends here, I think. For the moment, at least. So, what's your thought? Hello?
Hello?
What's your thought, Ewan?
Oh, I thought you were talking to Ophi or one of the other. No, literally, he'll after a very awkward silence, I thought you were talking about... Never mind.
As Ophi is just staring off into the distance, just not even paying attention.
Into the middle distance, yeah.
Yeah. My thought, obviously, would be to assist the church in manners where our presence might be unappreciated, should, of course, the general populace discover our involvement. He kind of sighs. We are a healing institution. To bring about harm is not our lot in life. It's yours.
I must say that's fair enough. So what's the job then?
He then goes on to describe what exactly is going on, as I assume that is your implicit agreement to this job.
We need the details first.
Well,
we don't just do anything.
Well, in order to get the details, you have to agree.
I mean, he's our bro, so...
Yeah.
All right. So, all we have to do is choose the type of plan that y'all have already made. Don't sweat the small details. Try to cover every eventuality ahead of time, because the engagement roll, which we're going to get to in a second, ultimately determines how much trouble you're in when the plan is put in motion. There are 6 different plans, each with a missing detail you need to provide. There is assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, and transport. Now, transport is the carrying of cargo. Assault is to do violence against a target. Deception is to lure, trick, or manipulate. Stealth is to trespass unseen. Occult is to engage a supernatural power. And social is to negotiate, bargain, or persuade. Now, when you choose a plan, you provide a detail like the point of the attack, the social connection, etc., etc. If you don't know the detail, you can actually gather information in some way to discover it. As Ewan is sort of providing you the information here, basically what he says is that the person who came to the church, all sort of racked with guilt, basically told him, hey, what I have heard, or what I have seen, is that Tidwoad is financing some sort of subversive group through regular payments to Greyhawk or to some Greyhawk association. The employee was sort of a low-level guard that was brought along and, backed out as soon as they figured out what exactly was going on. Didn't really get much information beyond that the group that this is financing is somebody who's basically antithetical to Cuthbert, who they determined to be evil in some sense. And Ewan then describes that the latest payment, the one that the confessed soul was supposed to be a part of, was going to be delivered by 2 carts that were going to travel the North Road, the North Road out of the heart and into the surrounding hillsides before stopping within one of the cairns amidst the hill. However, the confessor did note that what was being carried was not money. It was something strange. So Ewan actually did some further digging on his own. Obviously, keeping things on the level and never engaging in any activity that would have seen a member of the church, consorting with criminals. But Ewan dug up a little further and found out that although that was the cover story that the confessor received, the actuality of it was very different. Tidwoad's been conducting some renovations, shall we say. Particularly on his uncrackable vault. Theft-proof vault. Bringing in another gnome, an artificer from the Greyhawk, to actually sort of install new runes and kind of beef up the security of the place. However, as Ewan was savvy enough, he did catch them at a pretty opportune time, considering that this gnome from Greyhawk is very particular and demands that, minimum guard be kept and that the magics be left only partially armed if they're working. And that the magics around the vault be completely devoid, that they be deactivated so that they might work in peace. Tidwoad, as Ewan was able to find out, was a little skeptical about that, but having the money to afford new muscle that might have been creeped out by this sort of, by this sort of facade that he's constructed, Tidwoad has been able to sort of shore up his defenses a little bit. Not to the lofty heights of, the vault at full capacity, but at the very least, you'll be walking in territory that has been severely weakened. So, what Ewan's been able to gather, those carts, instead of carrying payments to some subversive group or whatever, we're actually carrying out the old components of the vault, as it were, that the artificer has been replacing. And the artificer themselves is looking over a vault, which is basically devoid of all magical defenses, because they're particular like that. And Tidwoad is sort of attending his attentions to other things. It would be a shame, and Ewan, at this point, very much in tones, it would be a shame, of course, if some assault were to happen. And if within that assault, a few gold coins were to be scattered about. He's basically asking you to do a smash and grab. That overwhelming this sort of skeleton crew that is not backed by sort of magical assistance helps the church with its current financial situation, which he refuses to describe, and then allows y'all to get some payback. After all, you paid a tithe. Maybe it's time to collect. So, that is the score as it is described. The detail here being, the point of attack is going to be actually Tidwoad's theft-proof vault. We'll call it the TPV for now. Because there's no way I'm putting my mouth through that every single time I want to mention it. So, that's the detail. That's the job. And
Okay.
now we progress to the questioning phase. What's your plan?
But then why were you telling us all about the carts? It seemed at first like you wanted us to go attack the carts, and now
I thought it
it's
was
like
a train robbery for a second.
yeah, that's what it sounded like to me at first too.
It seemed like that at first, but Ewan describes that was a facade. It was a sort of... the confessor was partially right. There is some sort of screwy kind of nonsense going on with this caravan. But after digging a little bit, again through no sort of illegal means, Ewan discovered, hey, these caravans aren't... This is a whole cover story. This whole thing is bullshit. And in fact, it's to distract from the fact that the TPV is basically unarmed. And its defenses are only being shored up by Tidwoad sinking in a considerable amount of money. And I mean, these are mercenaries. How many scruples does a mercenary have at any one time?
Never know.
Like two or three.
So essentially, Ewan did the gathering information step for us at this point.
Exactly.
Okay, so...
And you'll be getting
progress.
plus and minus dice for the engagement roll based off of the information he's provided.
Okay, great. All right, well, we have our fire starter. You're a heavy hitter, aren't you, Michael?
Kind of, sorta, a little bit more of a sneako.
A sneako. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, this next portion is sort of describing the plan. So,
Right.
as I said at the top, there are 6 different plans. This one specifically will be an assault, which is doing violence against a target, and this will be more specifically a smash and grab. Now, a smash and grab as described within the book, I must find before I put my foot in my mouth. Oh, do also remember you do have cohorts at your disposal. Thugs, as it were. Roustabouts that assist you in any sort of job that you so choose. Nah, bravos. Yes. Smash and grab is a fast and violent armed robbery. Sabotage is to hurt an opponent. To hurt an opponent by destroying something. Extortion is to threaten violence unless you're paid off. And battle is to defeat an enemy with overwhelming force. What Ewan is describing to you is a smash and grab. This is literally y'all going into the bank as its defenses are down, holding the place up, and then getting the money before leaving, like, as quickly as possible.
All right.
It basically would have been a smash and grab at any rate. It's just that Ewan, through gathering information, determined that the target was the vault, not the caravan, because the caravan was sort of a smokescreen, a semi-smokescreen.
Okay, so it's sounding to me, based on everyone's kind of skills that we have thugs. We can use thugs to potentially cause a distraction or to kind of create like a facade. You can go and sneak in. Obviously, Chorus can burn stuff. Again, I'm of the magical variety where I can summon spirits and whatnot. So if, I guess we need further distraction, or if I can summon a spirit to cause more damage, I could possibly do that. If not, we have the workshop. I can try to tinker things for you guys.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at the thing right now. There are 6 different plans, each with a missing detail for an assault, which this, I guess, is.
Yep.
The detail is the point of attack.
Yes, the detail is specifically that this is against the TPV.
Oh, okay. So that's already been determined. So what do we need to come up with?
Your loadout, and I believe you also have to determine your special abilities. Or no, wait, no. Bravo's abilities are just given. Never mind. Given those things as just a thing.
Copy of the book.
Yeah.
Craftsmanship.
Yeah, no, it's really weird. So 106, after the detail has been determined and the plan is in place, which you still need to describe the sort of general plan that you're going to undertake, we then choose the character's load. This indicates how much stuff they're carrying on them during the operation. You don't have to select individual items, just the maximum amount you will have access to during the action. For more details, you can go to page 57. But basically, remember how load said from like 0 to 3, you can conceal everything pretty easily. It doesn't, affect your movement in any way or anything like that. Well, during this sort of engagement, you can really determine how much you want to carry into battle with, and I really want to get this one correct because it's very much important. 1 to 3 is called light. You're fast, less conspicuous, you blend in with citizenry. Normal is 4 to 5, you look like a scoundrel, you're looking for trouble. Heavy is 6, you're slower, you look like an operative on a mission. And encumbered is 7 to 9. You're overburdened and cannot do anything except move very, very slowly. Load can be, if I understand it, shed throughout the operation through the use of certain things, like coin, for instance. Coin carries with it a load count that you can render unto somebody and sort of mark off for you. And if that's not how it is in-game, it's going to be how it is right now. So, too bad. We then roll engagement and, go through there. You still have to describe to me what you're going to do.
So, okay, so this is
That's
the major planning phase right now. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we had our mechanical ducks in a row before we actually describe or decide what we do.
Yes, so TPV is basically open to you breaking in. Tidwoad is sort of looking the other way, but there's hired muscle and there's this artificer who's involving basically a third party in all of this, which may complicate matters. An artificer from Greyhawk by themselves doesn't necessarily mean anything bad unless that person may be affiliated with some other party. Ewan wasn't able to get enough information about that particular part of it, but as this has sort of been laid out, what exactly will you be angling to do?
So this is essentially a bank.
Tidwoad presents it as such, although the way that the place is constructed, and I'll say that this is sort of common knowledge, it's sort of like, you know how in Old West towns they had like a safe in a saloon that was on the second floor or whatever, and that sort of functioned as a semi-bank in some frontier towns? That's basically the situation here, except that the vault is guarded by magical engines, usually, as well as a few other sort of trappings and whatnot that Tidwoad has cooked up.
Well, we know the magics are off right now.
Yeah, not with,
or at the very least, severely lessened.
yes, severely lessened. Not exactly that they're, you know, that's how I'll put it. They're not theft. The vault is no longer theft proof, technically. Just by the sort of magics that have had to been disabled.
So clearly this isn't just a room with a big-ass vault. So there is like a business involved.
Yes.
What is the business in the front of the building?
Tidwoad, like a jewelry store or something?
Yeah, Tidwoad is
It's kind of like a pawn shop, right?
Yeah, he's a purveyor of any and all sort of items that might be of interest to particular persons. A general store / jewelry shop / pawn shop / it's a shop. It's a shop that Tidwoad owns.
It's a fantasy shop.
Yeah.
That has a bunch of fantasy horror shit in it.
Yeah. You do also know that there is a residential sort of area within Tidwoad's upper level. So basically what it is that it's a 3-story sort of deal. The top level is Tidwoad's private residence. The second level is, is residential. And on the first floor, somewhere within the shop, usually hidden behind magical mechanisms and whatnot, is the TPV.
Okay. So, but wasn't there something... Sorry, I feel like I remember reading the document, and I imagine if it's public information about Diamond Lake.
Yep.
There's like the gnome apartments
Yes.
section. Isn't Tidwoad picky and like has them have to go in a different way or something like that? I thought I remembered.
That's a good question.
It's okay then. The point is just they wouldn't have to go through it's sort of separate, the shop and the residences. This is important to us as planners because if we want to go in through the residential area,
because, like, there's no way that like the people who live in the condos above the Chinese restaurant would have
pass
to go
by
through
the
Chinese
vault
restaurant.
constantly.
No. Tidwoad is
you know what I mean?
Yeah, Tidwoad is very particular about that. He keeps the residential area supremely separate from his business. And also points out that these people work on behalf of Tidwoad more often than not. These are usually employees that he gives temporary housing to before...
Several gnomish lodgers stay in rooms above his shop with an outside entrance so they don't have to go through the shop.
Yeah, so there's a sort of staircase that they have to ascend. Which, it's a place to stay, but again, it's mainly gnomish residents, and it's mainly for Tidwoad's sort of cronies, rather than...
Very low ceilings.
Yeah, very low, very low. Like, you'd swear that there was a mistake, that the way that the building is constructed, there's this very grand sort of base floor, and then right above it is situated, like, 4 to 5 feet of just asymmetrical design, and then above it is, like, another 10 foot where Tidwood
I would love to see a gnome apartment building. You could just look into the 3rd floor window.
Yeah. Yeah. But, as it stands, that's basically the general layout. Once you get into it, the specifics, it could be rather difficult to parse. Because Ewan has the conceptual information, and y'all reasonably assume you might know where the TPV is inside. Question
like
mark.
There's no way it's on the 2nd or 3rd floor. I feel like it's got to be either on the ground level or a basement of some kind.
Process of elimination does say that, given how much Tidwoad kind of brags about it, it's probably on the 1st floor.
I mean, my thought, and this is why I guess we're discussing this openly, is if our sort of purview is theatrics, this is an assault and a smash and grab, but it doesn't mean that we can't we can't get weird with it. I guess, because I mean, like, either because if this was like a little bit, if we wanted to be a little bit more stealthy, I would say I think going into like the 2nd floor or whatever and trying to find a drop down is probably a good plan. or we could go in the front as customers and make a fucking meal out of it.
So you're basically going to be Bonnie and Clyde, or are you going to be going for like a GTA heist?
I'm going for a fun with Dick and Jane.
Oh, Fun with Dick and Jane. Okay,
That's the first thing that jumps into my mind the instant I think of a bank heist is that movie for some reason.
wow. That's a niche. That's a niche touchstone.
I didn't get out much.
All right, Ophi, Chorus. What are y'all's thoughts as Sufyan sort of proposes this plan?
Well, since you were mentioning load and stuff like that, I started looking at my items, and I know that a few of us have the spirit masks and the ghost keys and stuff like that. I also have lockpicks. So I don't know if we can use the ghost keys to travel through stuff. Like, I'm not sure. Ooh.
Like, the ghost key is it gives us access to the spiritual realm. I don't know if that is.
Can you like walk in one spot?
Like, are we going to a completely different plane of existence, or is like the spirit realm that we walk into like
yeah,
like an ethereal version of what?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one is it, Jason?
That I would say would probably be a gather information.
Yeah, that would be like Ophi has to do some research on this.
If you really want to find out. So
yes, because I'm not entirely sure how else I'm going to be useful in this smash and grab.
So. When you want to know something more specific, your character can gather information. I will now ask you, how does Ophi gather information about this vault? Even though you've got the target and whatnot, you want to see if there are any sort of supernatural forces at play.
Yes. Well, I know that there is magic that was being used to add security to this place that it is now weakened. I guess perhaps, I mean, considering with me being a Whisper on its own, I would assume that I would understand how a ghost key works if I have one in my possession.
Sure.
I guess it would be a matter of whether or not that the arcane forces put at play here are messing with the possibility of passing through.
Sure.
And using this ghost key.
Huh. It's a very interesting sort of thing.
Just wait till I ask about rituals after this.
So, I will say this.
Do I have to roll anything while gathering information, or?
This will probably be... Okay, so you got two options. You can study the ghost key and the sort of potential construction of the
TPV.
Of the TPV.
Uh-huh.
Or you can survey and sort of keep yourself hidden amidst the crowd. It's basically, are you trying to get close, or are you, keeping your distance so that you can see it but not put yourself at risk?
Oh boy, I got 2 dots in study.
Yeah, you do.
Let's watch me fail at this again.
It'll be fine. We take the highest results.
Okay. My input value. Is it risky, controlled, desperate, or a fortune roll?
Let me see here. This is an action roll, so this... Are you going with study?
Yeah.
This is risky.
Okay. Effect, standard, limited, grade, extreme, 0.
I will say this effect is probably... This is great. This is a very, very important piece of information that you're gathering.
Bonus dice, assuming I don't have any.
You do not.
Okay. A 3 and a 6. I did it.
Wow.
I think.
So yeah.
Did I do it?
I think so.
Okay. Wow. So a 6 is a critical success. In this system, it's a D6 system with pools and whatnot, and we take the highest result, usually, of any sort of thing. A 6 is a critical success. So, I will say this. Not only do you gather this information, you do so with while concealing your identity. So, luckily, no bit of coal comes off from your face to reveal the diamonds.
I wear a really big hood.
Yeah.
Big floppy hat.
Yeah, looks like it's a mentor.
And you sort of try to mirror your uniform with the bravos and mercenaries that sort of Tidwoad brought on as muscle. So going on into the sort of construction site, you basically hitman your way to the plans of the vault and sort of figure out what exactly is going on. Now, what was the question you were trying to pose or trying to answer?
My ultimate goal was to figure out if whether or not I could use the ghost key to my advantage to getting into the space, or if there was arcane forces still at play that were kind of blocking that off, that need further damaging, so that I can use the ghost key to get in there.
All right.
Or that chorus can use the ghost key to get in there.
Through your study, you do note that there is a particular weakness. The artificer has only stuck to the first floor, as that has been sort of the focus of renovation. The second floor is devoid of arcane sort of protection. Although the TBV, as you have come to find out, is still sort of guarded from these sort of keys, the second floor and the hallway that lead up to the TPV, which is situated sort of at a downward angle behind a very, very heavy steel door, those are unguarded, disabled, as the artificer has continued their work. So what you could do is have Chorus take the ghost key to the second floor, insert it, and basically create a temporary dimension door between that door and the one leading to the vault.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay, so Opie will kind of gather that information and eventually scurry his way back to kind of reveal that. Which, hey, Sufjan should be proud of him for doing a sneak.
Honestly, yeah, I think he is.
Yes, indeed. So, this attempt to gather information took a little bit of time.
11 hours.
Yeah, well, basically.
Can we say other people were doing stuff in the same time, though, in that, block of time? No, it has to be, one person does one thing? Okay.
It's got to be one. No, I don't think that's true.
Yeah, you guys were just having a party while I was doing this, apparently.
See, I just feel bad about that.
Yeah.
Send the tired one to go do everything. Hasn't slept.
Actually, I should say, Ophi, could you roll me a prowl check?
Fucking,
Don't make
this is
him
where,
do that.
yeah, cool, I got 0 dots in that, so here we go.
No, excuse me. Prowl, yeah.
Cool,
Sorry.
what's my position?
Risky again, effect
Cool.
standard.
Cool, this is where I fail. A 5 and a 3.
Hey.
Lowest result
God.
of 3. Even though you were able to secure the information and get inside, as you get out, your hood is kind of knocked down accidentally by one of the bravos or one of the mercenaries, and they get a good look at you.
Son of a bitch.
Cool.
Not enough to where they could. Well, you hope not enough to where they could describe your appearance to Sheriff Cubbin, but they get you get the impression they might have seen you on your way out, though. So. Okay.
I would assume that he would act like he owns the place and just leave anyway, regardless of people having seen him. He acts like he doesn't care.
Yeah, the mercenaries sort of elbow each other and tell them to be more careful. They're paying customers here, you idiot. So, you got the information. Congratulations. And that, especially with a 6, that'll render a bonus die for sure. For your engagement roll.
Hell yeah.
Now I just can't go there because then they'll see me and they'll remember. Mercenary will remember this. Okay, so I'll kind of give that information. I almost wonder if Ophi won't say anything about anyone seeing him. He probably won't.
Probably won't. And that's perfectly fine. So, all of that now determined. It's basically now or never. If y'all want, you can try and gather information again, but that might see the evaporation of the opportunity.
Okay. Well, but that was good because
That
now
was very good.
Ophi, we know that Ophi can like sort of conjure this thing, and I can kind of like use
We got a
he's
free
made
door
it.
right into the vault itself.
Yeah.
Well, not into the vault itself, but into the hallway leading up to the vault.
That's what
Yeah.
I understood, and that's how I am going to be playing it.
That may very well be. You'll see how that goes quite immediately. All right, so, yeah, that was really good. Congrats to Ophi. Right, we need your item loadouts. Hurry, quickly.
Okay,
There's no
well,
time.
obviously, taking the lockpicks are 0 load, taking the ghost key is 0 load. So I think, in general, does anyone have anything heavy they want to bring? We could probably stay low, which is our ideal, isn't it?
It is the ideal.
Especially because we want to bring out stuff.
Yeah.
So that'll increase our load when we leave. So we definitely want to go in with a low load.
So you're okay. So the items in italics do not count for load.
Yes.
Other than that, if you use an item that is not in italics, that is 1 load.
Yes.
Essentially, okay.
And if you are at 1 to 3 load, your load is considered light.
Okay. Well, since anything in italics is not a load, I'm just going to take all of it.
I did the same thing. I'm like,
yeah.
ectoplasm files, of course I'll need those.
I have a Spirit Bane charm if they want to use a ghost against us.
I have a Demon Bane charm, yeah.
So I've got a set of lock picks. I've got a Silence Potion, a Spirit Bane charm. I'm taking my Fine Shadow Cloak because it's going to help me sneak.
Mm-hmm.
So currently I'm at 1 load. I don't think I need climbing gear or dark side goggles.
Depends on the time of the day that you go to. So, I mean, are you doing this in broad daylight, or are you going to be? Or actually, no. Ophi with a 6. You note that there was a bit of chatter while you were studying the sort of blueprints. Apparently, the gnome artificer, in addition to being, having dark vision, is also sensitive to light.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh. All right,
So it is fucking dark then.
So it is pretty dark.
I'm half elf, right? I can see.
You are half elf, so you can see.
I can't see shit.
Got them good eyeballs.
I don't know if I want to bring I can't hit anything literally. So I almost feel like it's useless for me to bring a weapon with me.
I will bring a blade or 2, which is an item.
Blade or 2.
Yes.
Parentheses on 2.
Unless, so we got these items in our little gray box, and then there's a bunch of items below it.
Yep.
What does that mean?
Those are the different items that you can bring for the job. Those are job specific.
Right. Is that stuff that we have to pay for, or is it just an extended list that is for some reason 2 different colors?
I believe it is an extended list. We shall treat it as such for now.
I'm gonna bring 3 pistols.
Good lord.
I'll bring some blades.
I guess for me, I guess I'll bring my arcane stuff in case, God forbid, because I'm assuming I'm gonna be hanging back while you guys are doing this. So in case I need to summon Satan, into our thing, I guess bringing my arcane implements would make sense.
I just also realized that not also just realized, I was told this, that the door does not go immediately into the vault itself.
No, it does
so
not.
There are probably still some defenses to get through, because one of my thoughts was literally Sufyan will fucking hang out in the lobby and chat up the cashier to keep them distracted or whatever. But I think it's a little bit more of a heavy operation than that.
This is a smash and grab. This is what y'all are. This is what y'all have determined yourselves to be pretty good at.
No, we
Speak
can't.
for yourself. I'm better at occult stuff.
I don't think we necessarily said we're amazing at Smash and Grab. Did
Very
we?
true.
It's just the group that we picked to be associated with.
Yeah.
Because there was also like sabotage and espionage or something like that in there. There is an extent of stuff.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah.
I mean, I guess I'll bring like one weapon, but like, just in case I need to, like a blade or two.
A weapon that makes you feel better.
Yeah. I do
Ooh,
have a
gun.
blade or two as well.
A second
Gun.
pistol.
So I've got.
Wait, what's an unusual weapon?
You're right.
In the context of this, I'd say a serrated bullwhip. I don't know.
That'd be pretty good.
That is.
I got that from Ewan.
Oh no!
That actually could be it. That Ewan provided you with this weapon.
I mean, we're probably gonna want burglary gear, right?
Yeah. I mean, once again, we have lockpicks. Do you have lockpicks too?
I got lockpicks too.
Kit?
Yeah.
But that's
I
just
do not
assuming
have
that.
lockpicks.
Yeah, it's just assuming that y'all are gonna encounter locks and nothing else. Like,
All right, fuck it. Demolition tools.
Okay, wait. So if you bring demolition tools, I will bring the burglary gear, or like we can switch it up. Like we would bring different stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Right,
We would
yeah.
complement.
You want me to bring subterfuge supplies then?
That's a good idea, and that way you're outside, prepared to like fix a mess. Basically,
Right.
sorry.
Summon Satan so that you guys
Yeah.
can
There you go. So
Right.
some of these objects have two little squares next to them. What is the significance of the second little square?
that means that they are connected. So that let's say under
It is two-way.
yes.
Like
shoot. So chorus, you have what is known as fine wrecking tools, which if you click that, that counts as 2 weight
Okay.
or 2 load.
It doesn't give me a description.
I know none of these have descriptions.
Well, some of them do, and some of them don't.
Oh, a sledgehammer and iron spikes, heavy drill, and a crowbar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a blade or two is perhaps you carry a simple fighting knife or 2 curved swords or a rapier and a stiletto. A heavy butcher's cleaver.
Because
tools is makeup.
For the demolition tools, I can just click one square. What does that mean?
And maybe does that mean that you don't include the heavy drill and you just brought the sledgehammer and iron spikes?
It doesn't change anything.
Or you don't bring or you bring the crowbar, but not, you know what I mean? Like, because there are different items in here.
Like, this is not a stealth, so I'm not going to bring my shadow cloak.
Some items count as 2 items for load. They have 2 connected boxes. So if you bring one, you'll have to bring.
You have to bring all of it. Okay.
Yeah, that's 2, 3, 4. I can bring one more thing to get to normal load.
But don't you want to leave a space in case we have to bring stuff out?
Oh, that's a
we
good
were supposed
point.
to bring coin back out.
Yeah, so do try and leave some space. So I currently have 2 things, which leaves me 1 spot to still remain light. Right?
Yes.
So if you want to do medium, that's fine, but like still leave a space so that you don't end up in heavy.
That's a good point. So I'm at 4 right now.
Okay, that's probably fine.
I'm at 3, so
Because you're a bigger, beefy boy, so you can carry more. I feel like.
I will say this: if you're worried about coin and whatnot, at the end of a successful score, I, being the GM, and this is literally how it works, I must give you a payout. So, basically what it means is that you take stock of your income from the operation. A successful score generates both rep and coin. This can be role-played or dealt with. Reputation is this whole separate thing. But coin is determined by the nature of the job and the loot seized on the job. So, yes, indeed, you can have it to where you have extra load that you can carry for potentially extra coin. But I, as the GM, must grant the coin and rep the crew is due after a score.
So we get the award for free, but if we find a little something,
Yeah.
we gotta carry it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Basically.
I think we want to leave those spaces.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm stuck at. We got, like I said,
'Cause we Because we
Dude.
owe the people that gave us information, and we have to get something for ourselves, and we have to pay off our our
We gotta
thugs.
And we also have to keep our miners happy.
Yeah, exactly. We
And
need
I
to
got a
keep doing the
clock.
good we do.
Yeah, you have a clock for whatever reason. That's a problem for
Yes,
future,
you need money.
I'm gonna need some money or money to buy weapons to
It's
get
okay,
this.
you can have my money. What am I going to do with it, Sam?
Perfect. Thank you.
So, all you have to do, I really should have prefaced this. All of this, you just have to select the maximum amount you're willing to carry. So
Okay.
basically determine your load. So do you want to
Yes.
be at 5? Are you going to be at 3? Just sort of determine that, and then tell me what spot.
I'm currently at 2, so I'm staying light for now, and I have the space, like I said, to take a little bit more and still remain light.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm in the
I'm willing to hit
normal.
normal, so I've got one extra slot to get to that 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, once the plan has been chosen, which, as I understand it, will be Ophi will create a door from the residence hall to the hallway to the vault, while your thugs basically create a distraction, a smash and grab. Chorus and Sufyan will go to the vault itself, attempt to undo the magics there, and get out with as much coin as possible.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Or anything special that's in there.
Or anything special that's in there. Ophi, I will say this. You can be on either side of the dimension door, but you have to be sort of there to keep the magic sort of shaped and in place.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And you have to be aware that other people can go through the door as long as it is open.
Okay.
So if you want to go out the front, you have to disable the dimension door and then just bolt.
Okay, cool. And I would like to say also that with me having taken subterfuge to supplies, which is basically like a disguise kit, I'm going to be making use of that so that way I don't look like the person who they saw walking off earlier today.
That
That's
would
smart.
be...
Smart.
Yeah, that's a
Brain.
pretty good idea. All right.
So sorry, before we go do it. Ophi got the schematics.
Got a good look at it, yeah.
So this hallway that leads to the vault that we are getting a free portal into. Where does this dump out? Does it go back into the storefront?
No, the portal is basically a two-way thing. So you go into
No,
the
but
residence...
I mean, like, so if the portal were deactivated,
Oh, yes.
this door that we are clipping through, where
Yep.
does it go?
It goes, what Ophi was able to see through the blueprints, it goes into sort of a back storeroom that leads to the back of Tidwoad's bank, which is sort of like a regular bank. It has, locking mechanisms and like stuff like that. But there is a side door in the back of the bank that you can use to escape.
Okay, so it's basically it's storefront, storage room, door to vault plus side door.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to, we could all go through this portal, disable it. That way, Ophi, if you want to, can like do some stuff, and then we can all just fuck off through the side door when we're done.
Yeah. Or if woe of woes, the dimension door is disabled and you're left on the side of the door, then you can break your way out, get through to the side door, and get onto the street as soon as possible.
Right. Yeah. So like if you want to kill that dimension door and be involved, you can probably do that too. We have another way out, basically, is what I'm
Right,
saying.
yeah.
Plan B. And that's only because you rolled a 6.
Yay! Yeah, I think I'm totally fine with that. And while we're traversing through, maybe grab a spirit or two and shove it in a bottle,
Yeah.
Sure.
so I can make use of that later.
Obviously. So, Once players and the plan have been determined and details provided, the GM cuts to the action, describing the scene as the crew starts the operation and encounters their first obstacle. Oh dear, but how is this established? The way that the GM describes the starting situation can have a huge impact on how simple or troublesome the operation turns out to be. We use a dice roll for this, called the engagement roll. The engagement roll is a fortune roll starting with 1 dice for sheer luck. We then modify the dice pool for any major advantages or disadvantages that apply. This is a particularly bold operation. So normally you would get +1, or actually, no, normally you would get +1 dice, but that is then taken away because this plan is quite complex. Like, it's dependent upon your thugs being able to sustain a robbery sort of tone as best as possible, while also not killing anybody and, like, just a whole bunch of stuff.
Let's
They
be honest
have
here.
to not kill anybody?
By the end of tonight, we're going to end up killing somebody.
Somebody's dead.
That'll
Somebody
be
has to
fun.
die.
Does the plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them where they are weakest? That's a yes, especially with Ophi's thing, so that bumps it up to 3 dice right now. Are there any other elements you might want to consider? Maybe a lower tier target. Higher tier will give you +1, or excuse me, higher tier will give you -1. Maybe there's a situation in the district that makes the operation more or less lucky. This is definitely a higher tier target, so that will then take it down to 2d6. Which would have been only 1d6 had, again, Ophi not rolled that 6. So, let us go to my notes here as we frame the engagement. So, players cannot fail. You can only get into a desperate position. All right.
Did you hear that? We can't fail.
We'll just end up going back to jail.
Yeah.
Set up teamwork maneuver. Yeah. Oh, right. Your distraction. So, you have ordered your thugs to sort of start the sort of get on the ground motherfuckers and you know, nobody move, etc., etc. That's kicking off the first obstacle, right?
Yeah, I mean, as far as what they actually do we want them to, like, we want them to, like, pretend to be robbing the store to distract from the fact that we're actually robbing, you know, the vault.
Right.
Do we want them to actually rob the store so they get something out the front while we're getting something out the back?
At any rate, this will be a setup teamwork maneuver. Teamwork maneuver is not complicated, but it's basically, as this is a setup, a character who will follow through on your actions. When you perform a setup action, you have an indirect effect on an obstacle. If your action has its intended result, blah, blah, blah. So, a clever setup action lets you help the team indirectly. Multiple follow-up actions may take advantage of your setup as long as it makes sense in faction. So, at the beginning of this, you can use a setup teamwork maneuver, which is basically y'all working together, or two of y'all working together, to basically help your thugs more effortlessly facilitate the robbery. So, who is wanting to sort of direct the thugs?
Not it.
Well, what does that entail? What do I have to...
Well,
Sway?
that depends all on what you want to sort of do. This will be a command roll, I will say.
Does anybody have command?
I have 1 command and 1
You
sway. I feel like
are-
a sway. No, come on.
Gotta get your SJW going.
I mean, if sway works, I could do it, but if it has to be command, it's going to have to be chorus.
Well,
I feel like
go
I
ahead.
feel like he could be very convincing the thugs about what they have to do, but also, like, you need a little more finesse when explaining it, because otherwise they're gonna, like, if you're assuming the thugs aren't the most educated or intelligent, they're gonna need someone who's actually giving them direction and not just yelling at them without
honest.
explanation.
Chorus is going to be the one that's going to have the PowerPoint TED Talk presentation for them so that they understand what's going to go down.
Yeah, so this will definitely be a command thing, unfortunately.
Okay, fine.
Don't worry, it's a successful sort of thing. It's if you succeed, you get +1 dice on the engagement roll. You're already at 2d6, which is really good. But this is just going to see what happens.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll.
What's my position? Controlled?
Yeah, we'll say this
Risky.
is controlled. We'll say this is controlled.
Okay. Effect, standard, limited, great, extreme.
Well,
None.
There is a 0. There is a 0.
we'll say that's standard as well, because this is
Okay.
basically you relaying to your
Yep.
your crew, hey, this is what we need to do. This is how we need to do it.
Yeah, and I'm assuming no bonus dice. So,
Nope.
yeah. Oof. Oof.
What you say?
Okay.
Yeah, she got distracted because someone brought like a non-fair trade coffee to the meeting, and then she like went off like on that instead or something.
That's
like,
not blue bottle coffee. Excuse me.
Oh,
and
boy.
so
They're
she
just
missed.
horribly
she,
demoralized and don't want to do it now.
yeah, she accidentally got really like upset and started like explaining the importance of like, don't you realize that where you're getting it from, those people are affected just like you, like, and then like goes off on like a whole nother tangent.
I
Yeah.
imagine that this
Oh, and by the
happens.
way, we're robbing people today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Uh,
and we need you to like.
I imagine that happens, and like Ophi, who's probably experienced this many a time, just looks to Sufjan and just slowly shakes his head. I don't think it's going to work out the way that we want it to.
Well, best laid plans, you know.
Ha 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 ha. All right. Unfortunately, as your setup went just so terribly, I have some bad
I mean,
news.
it wasn't a 1.
Yeah, I have some bad news, though. A failure results in -1 dice to your engagement roll.
No.
Fucking end me.
So,
You,
so you're about
y'all
to
said I had to roll it.
Well, I mean, we wouldn't have done any better. I don't have any dice.
I don't have any
Yeah.
dice in command. So.
Here's the good news. You start off with 1 die. So
Yeah.
you still are
Cool.
at 2d6. So as a base, because it's fortune, and because I'm merciful, we'll say that you have 2d6. All of this taken into account. Jesus Christ.
This is our tutorial heist. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why is the tutorial heist the unbreakable bank?
Well, it's sort of like Dark Souls. You know, you have to take on an enemy that will probably pile drive you.
Cool. I can't wait for next session where we just play into our vices the whole time to
Yeah.
recover.
So, the engagement roll assumes that you have all approached the target as intelligently as you can, given the plan and the details they were provided. So, you know, no need with any, like, special precautions or ponderous non-action. The engagement roll covers everything. So, the first obstacle that you do encounter... Boy. All right. Well, yeah, I gotta just roll 2d6, huh?
Do it.
I just gotta roll 2d6.
That's 1-6.
You are some lucky people. Okay. So, with a 6. Man, that's literally the best you could have gotten. Wow. Okay, so you have an exceptional result. You have already overcome the first obstacle, and you are in a controlled position. So, the first obstacle that you came across was, of course, the door to the residence and attuning the magics to the lower door that Ophi had discovered. You assume reasonably that your thugs have sort of gone in and tried to, like, intimidate the thugs that Tidwoad has hired. Your part of the mission is secure. Their part of the mission, you're kind of, since you don't have eyes with the group, it's kind of like, okay, well, what do we do? How do we do it? And then the ghost key clicks into the top of the residence. Ophi, you feel the magic sort of emerge from your palm and sink into the key, and the door itself dissolves into... what does Ophi's magic kind of look like?
I imagine it kind of like distorts like the air around everything. So it's not very overt. It's not sparkly or anything like that.
Right.
It's as if your vision itself looks like it's like super like skewed, and then it kind of like it hazes.
Sure.
Then the door finally quote unquote opens. He kind of, tosses it open into the spirit realm and kind of makes a small flourish with his hand. Go on.
All right. Chorus, Sufyan, you are now presented with this dimension door, as it were. You hop through, and there don't seem to be any guards this deep into the vault. However, it is basically pitch black. Chorus, you're able to see, again, because you're sort of elven, but even then, it's, like, oppressively dark. You get the sense that there may be some sort of magical engine that is consuming this area in darkness.
I have my dark side goggles on.
And so you put them on. The runic energies that sort of surround them, as you are already attuned to it, bing, click on. And you are able to see, even through the magical darkness, with no issue.
Hell yeah.
I'm blind as a bat.
So.
Nice. With our somewhat able to see in the darkness now. No, we're okay. We don't want to... I was going to say, do we want to look for something to give us a bit of light? Or, like, we're probably good like this. We'll leave the lights out so we don't bring any attention, I guess.
I should have brought a lantern. Whatever.
Whoops.
We could look for something that exists in here. There might be something, you know what I mean, for a light source, but we might not want to set off anything that will be visible from the outside. So maybe best to stay in the dark. Yeah, maybe best to stay in the dark for now.
Okay. I am going to...
I mean, I could...
Yep, go ahead.
I can fire hand?
Oh, yeah.
You can, if you so desire. So
that's literally...
a fire emerges from your hand and kind of dully shines against your palm. It does fight against the darkness a little bit more, allowing you a little bit more visibility, but this is a long corridor, and Ophi sort of intoned that it was a long corridor, so you would have to traverse further in order to make sure. I am going to now roll for engagement for the crew, as they are... on their portion of it, just to see how they've done.
Hey!
Oh. Okay. That's a nice one. Okay.
Good job, Clave.
Right. Good job, team. I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, I'll say that Clave is currently in charge of the front line.
Oh, beautiful. They're still here then.
Yeah, so they are still sort of here in spirit, and they are making sure that everybody knows that this is y'all's gang and that, this is now your turf. Retribution for blah, blah, blah. The actual work of the of the entire operation still rests within each of you. So, Chorus, Sufyan, I will assume, reasonably, that you're just making your way to the vault now?
I mean, if it's a hallway, yeah.
Good. So...
Are we still going with the plan where I unlock and we keep going down the hallway?
Yes. You can...
Okay.
You can, if you would like, collapse the door and go down the hallway.
Okay. Who's gonna escort me, or am I just gonna take my fine lightning hook and use it as a fucking dowsing rod?
The three of us are there. So I think if you stick close, I'll probably try and go in front because I've got the very nice goggles.
As it stands, however, I unfortunately have to give you a clock. 4 ticks.
I don't want that though.
Me or
No, the group.
Oh, the
There is
group.
now a clock in existence.
Okay. Well, we're moving quickly now.
Yeah, and the alarm. The alarm is triggered.
Oh fuck me.
It is at 1 tick currently.
Oh, when it hits the 4th tick, the alarm is triggered. Is someone making that clock and sharing it, or do we each have to individually make the clock?
Let's say somebody make the clock and share it. There is also,
Michael, are you already doing that?
as you approach the TPV, you now have a clock called the TPV.
Goddamn clocks I gotta have. Jesus.
This is a 6-pip clock. It is at 0, and it is called "This Motherfucker is Impossible."
Rude. We should get a blip. We're already like all up in this.
Yep. So,
There's my clock.
and also, yeah, that'll be the first obstacle. So, you've got a couple of obstacles already working against you. Clave, being the observant person that they are, notes that a couple of the employees are trying to get their way, worm their way towards the counter, where you assume, obviously like a bank, there's probably a button. We cut to Clave, and the first action roll will be a skirmish. They're in a controlled situation. And the effect will be standard. And there will be no... Or actually, let's say 1 bonus dice, considering they rolled a 6 for the crew. So the crew is in on this. And so, wow, they rolled a 6.
Another 6.
All right.
Hey.
So Clave has got basically the front on lock, and is basically trying to get a couple of thugs to you to the back to try and assist with the sort of vault. The thugs are currently smashing into the storage room, basically trying to get to the vault to assist, if such assistance is needed. Sufyan, Chorus, Ophi, you are confronted, Chorus and Sufyan, you are confronted by this enormously
Opie's there
complicated...
too, I think.
Or Ovi is there? Did you already dispel the dimension door, or?
yeah, but yeah, it's especially because if they started walking down the dark hallway, I can't see shit. So
Yeah, we said that, but Chorus made a fire, so there is some light.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to stay near me.
Okay, so that'll be fine. Each of you comes across the TPV, and holy shit, wow, this is really complicated. You now have to...
Is it like whirling, clicking, like things?
Yeah,
like
we're
what is
talking-
it like?
Well, yeah, no, well, tell me, what is making this thing seem so impossible? Like, are we talking whirling, clicking things? Are we talking, like, gnomish runes that kind
Nah,
of...
it's just really high up. We just can't reach the damn thing. No, it's I like
gnomish
the
vault is so high up.
yeah. It's crazy, or maybe it's just very, very little, and we can't fit into it. It's like the door in Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, it's like we like literally are like, where the heck is it? And it's like down here, and we literally have to get down and like
It's just a
crawl
mouse
into it.
hole.
That'd be funny.
Actually? Now that
Oh
you mention
no,
it,
we should not be giving Jason ideas.
No.
this is all sort of gnomish sized. You
Son of a bitch.
This is why it is 6 pips. Like, Ophi, you had assumed that, you know, since the vault was being worked on, you know, it's something that it's like, it's not gonna be gnomish sized. That would be stupid, right? Yeah, it would be. Fortunately, Tidwoad's just the right kind of stupid.
So not only is it very like a complex piece of machinery, all the parts are very small.
Yeah, and your tools...
I just imagine like Goofy's just staring down at this overly complicated little door, blocking their way. Oh, that's all he says in response.
All right.
Yeah, didn't say that in the schematics, did you?
I'd assumed that they would have other people working on this. He like glares at Sufjan. It's fine. Maybe. And again, like he goes over and just starts. He sits down. He takes out his satchel and starts getting out ritual items and whatnot. Maybe I'll have something of a lighter touch on the hand of this.
So this will be a tinker roll for you.
Well, no, what I want to do is I want to see if I can summon something spiritual to fuck with the door.
I see. So you're wanting to
use my special ability.
All right. You can study an occult ritual to summon a supernatural. You know the arcane methods to perform. You begin with one ritual already learned. All right. Well, that's interesting. So go ahead and we'll say that in flashback, you after you delivered the information, you set about studying exactly what ritual you needed to get in order to sort of determine.
To bypass the wards.
Yeah, to bypass any potential wards that may still be lingering. Roll a study check.
Okay.
This will be like in the hours leading up to the actual thing itself. I imagine that you are like huddled over tomes and whatnot collected from your family, trying to figure out and parse, hey, is there a lock-picking demon somewhere? Please help.
Hold on 1 second. Roll 20 is being very upset with me right now. Okay. Position.
All right. So, as this is an action roll that's being undertaken, flashbacks. Okay, this will be, let's say, well, first we have to determine the stress cost. This will be 1 stress. Yeah, 1 stress in order to find out if you found the correct ritual.
Okay.
After the stress has been paid, a flashback can be handled like any other. Action roll, if there is a dangerous or troublesome obstacle, there is. So, if a flashback involves downtime activity, pay 1 coin or rep instead of stress. This is not downtime. This is you prepping. So, yep, go ahead. Roll study for me.
All right. What's my position?
This will be...
Risky, controlled, desperate.
Risky.
I would argue that it's controlled, but...
You can very well argue that. You will use this argument.
I already clicked it. My effect. Standard, limited, great, extreme, or 0.
This will be... Well, what is it? I think it's you who determines the effect. Are you going for... Or actually, yeah, let's go with... Great.
Okay. Bonus dice 0, I'm assuming. And another 6.
Okay, this is going extremely well for you. So, you... In the scant hours that you did have, while you heard Chorus in the background kind of berating the thugs over their unsustainable sort of participation in corrupt business models, you did indeed find a ritual that did not involve your friend Sitara, and so you did secure a ritual by which a spirit, particularly a ghost, would be able to fiddle with the mechanisms and like basically loosen everything up. It's sort of like what's that dude from Hellboy, the sort of ectoplasmic dude that goes into the lock and like blah, blah, blah.
The Mist Man.
Yeah, the Mist Man.
Whatever the fuck his name is.
So you perform this ritual as quickly as you can, and the necrotic sort of necromantic magics course through your veins and blacken them almost for a split second before jettisoning into the ground. The spirit itself is more like a geist. It's like very hard to sort of parse if it was humanoid at one time or not. It dives into the lock and begins to worm its way through. Luckily, since it's still a work in progress, this is an extreme success, and as it jettisons out, you all note that it seems that a few of the clockwork mechanisms have clicked into place, and it seems to be partially open. You, with that, have now 3. Half of the work has been done for you. So 3 pips on that singular clock.
Hell yeah.
And also, as this has gone on, you now have another pip on the alarm has been set off.
What if I don't want?
I know you don't want to, but sucks to suck.
Wow.
Like that.
Yep, like that.
Cool. And then also when the caster takes 4 stress when it's performed. So I take an additional 4 stress.
Whew. Yikes.
When doing the ritual. Itself.
Yeah, so...
I'm at 5 right now. I look great. I'm super tired.
You are super, super duper tired.
We'll get you a sustainable coffee later.
Sustainably sourced.
You've done
Sustainably
well.
sourced.
Now, take a seat, all right? Let's finish this up.
I'm already sitting. Go for it.
Okay, go ahead.
At this point, I'm going to... Clave has had to step in and assist the... what are they called? Your
Thugs?
Your thugs again. They're having a little bit of a time breaking into the storeroom, so Clave is going to try and basically command them, get them through the storeroom so that they can start work on the door on the other side, the door that y'all entered in on. No bonus dice. And that is what is that? A 2. Oh no.
Which is kind of like a backwards 5.
Yeah. If only that's how it worked. So, Clave is a little heavy-handed. Roughs up a couple of the thugs who kind of like are a little shocked. And a few of the mercenaries are now sort of in a position where they can actually kind of affect the situation. They are now brawling with a couple of your thugs. So now we've got another clock, let's say 6 pips already at 2. Your gang turns tail. That will be the thing at risk. So even though Clave did sort of command them to get through, it kind of backfired because there were some dynamics like at play. And so you must now tell me, Sufyan or Chorus, how exactly do you attack this very small, very good vault door?
Since we both have lockpicks, I think you can go ahead, and I will do demolition as a last resort.
Okay, yeah. So we'll definitely start with I think that's true too, because I have the burglary gear too, which is...
Nice.
Damn it, I had it.
Okay, so you are explicitly not wrecking this.
Yeah,
object.
we're starting, like, especially since Ophi got in very, like, without, like, damaging anything, using, like, magic and stuff like that. Like, now, even that we are going in physically, I think we're still focusing on finesse, unless we have to do otherwise.
In which case I have a drill.
I think we get pluses to wrecking, though, based on our crew type.
You do.
If I remember correctly.
Yes.
Oh.
So
that's why he was asking, I think.
Yes. So if you are... one of the things with Bravos is that each PC may add +1 action rating to hunt, skirmish, or wreck up to a max rating of 3.
We picked the wrong crew.
Honestly.
When you execute... Oh, dang, I didn't even see this. When you execute an assault plan, you take +1 dice to the engagement roll. I mean, you got a 6. I mean, you already did 5.
We did.
What if we got
highest,
2
so-
6s?
Yeah. So, you know.
And we would have won it without even going in. Anyways.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So.
Okay, so I have a set of lockpicks, a small pry bar, vials of oil to silence any squeaky hinges, coil of wire, fishing hooks, and a small pouch of fine sand.
Okay.
And I probably shouldn't be doing this, because now that I'm looking at my stuff, I do have 2 in rec and none in finesse.
I mean,
okay,
you do what you want.
Can we like give each other our shit that we brought?
Yeah, can we trade? I just realized this right now. Like, yeah. Maybe we discussed this and we brought each other stuff because Sufyan is like bigger and capable of holding the heavy stuff, whereas like I'm little and I was like, oh, come on, hold my big stuff for me. Just
Bat your eyelashes.
We shall say that this is possible, as this.
I mean, we're planning together. We're a team.
Exactly.
We're in the same room. Yeah.
Yeah, we're literally like, yeah. So like, I literally take out this like little, like one of those folded up like leather things and like put it on the ground and like unroll it, and then all the nice small things come out, and then I like, there you go, and I back the heck up, and I go to check on Ophi.
All right. So as this is occurring, I will say that your faffery in terms of trying to get all of this settled, you can do this, but each of you takes 1 stress.
Ah!
Damn it.
Including me?
No, not Ophi, because technically you did not participate in the sort of Jenga.
Be like, bitch, I'm about ready to take trauma at this point.
So now let's flip it. I'm going to do a finesse, and if that doesn't work, you could do a wreck.
Yep, that's
All
the
right.
plan.
So go ahead, Sufyan, roll me a
Position?
risky.
Risky.
Or actually, wait, what's a step above risky?
Desperate?
No, this is not desperate, so risky.
Okay. Effect.
It's
Limited great, a standard limited great extreme 0.
this'll be extreme. Or actually, wait. Let's say great. Yeah.
Okay. Bonus dice?
1 bonus dice because of the 6 rolled during the Geist
Hell yeah.
ritual.
That's a 6, my guy.
Hey!
All right. Even though the finer instruments are sort of alien to you, given that these are more choruses, you do manage to unlock the rest of the way as best you can. And yeah, I'll say that even though this motherfucker was impossible, with 2 pips, you are almost there. You, each of you hears a knock at the door behind you, the one that you sort of spirited yourselves into. You note the rhythm of it indicates that, hey, your crew is in the storeroom ready to help get the loot out of the whole thing. As this has gone on, let's say another pip to the alarm is triggered as time has gone on, and another pip to the alarm is triggered as time has gone on, and your thugs have been sort of in a bit of a skirmish with the people that Tidwoad had hired. Clave will roll a skirmish, which will be risky, or actually no. There will be a flashback for Clave, where Clave basically used Consort to try and, like, tie on the thing of, like, okay, we know that you're just doing your job, but please, for the love of God, like, let us through. So, Clave's reputation as sort of a street fighter amidst these people holds a little bit of sway. It was in a controlled situation. The effect was great. No bonus dice. And
double 6 is so intense.
Whoa!
okay.
What does it mean?
So it does go up 1 pip still, but the mercenaries, like, it's sort of like WWE, where it's like they're hitting each other and it looks real bad, but there's no real, like, this isn't a life or death situation.
This is a pip to the witch clock?
This is a pip to the alarm clock. So the alarm clock is still there at 2 of the 4. The employees have no idea what the fuck is going on. So, or at least they seem to have no idea. Chorus, is there anything you wish to do to seal the deal on this vault?
So, like, is the door still, like, just hanging on by, like, a little bit?
Just that tiny little bit. Just that one little pip.
Is it like partially open?
Yeah.
Can I just like stick my fire hand in and like whirl it around to try and like to try and remove any final berry?
What?
Just warm up the door a little. I don't know. What do you suggest? I can't finesse. We discussed this.
I mean, the demolition tools come with a crowbar. So if
Yeah.
it's mostly
Can I just
open,
can I
if you
just
wanna
try
wrench
and
it,
like
Yeah.
it just needs that last little bit of percussive suggestion and encouragement.
Okay.
So a rec roll is what I need from you.
Yeah. So when you said that we get +1 as a group when we go into this, and it's not a permanent thing, but I can apply it to like one roll.
+1
like
effect
this?
rank, yes.
Okay, so I can wink, wink. Position.
This will be controlled.
Controlled. Effect. Standard, limited, standard. Okay. And no bonuses.
This is literally you just taking a crowbar to this thing.
Yeah, and no bonuses, right?
No bonuses now.
Yeah.
that's a 6.
Finally! Finally a good roll for me!
Yee!
Something I did kind of work.
Your muscles ripple against it, and as it's been so effortlessly loosened, haha! The vault door flings open brilliantly. Oh, it was indeed possible after such things. So, excuse me.
Deletes clock.
Deletes clock.
Wait,
yeah,
how
no,
do I
go
delete
ahead. That is very good. So, the TPV has now been opened. As it opens, however,
The chimera's on the other side, waiting to eat us.
no, it's nothing like that. It's no serious obstacle like that. It's just a small alarm that goes off.
God damn it.
So as the vault has now been opened, the 2 pips on the alarm has been triggered fill up. And immediately your ears are subjected to this screeching noise, this screeching siren that emerges not only from the vault but from the front of the shop. Clave has no idea what's going on. And neither do a lot of people.
Oh no.
Immediately inside, you see... Well, you don't know what you see, but you see a lot of it.
Sorry?
Yeah.
There are treasures here. There are multiple sort of valuable items. Some is just straight up coin. Others are what you assume to be maybe magic items? Perhaps. Potentially. It's basically the collateral that Tidwoad has assembled in order to finance this fucking bank. Immediately as the alarm starts going off, you hear the other people banging on the door trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
And those are our people, right?
Yes, those are your people.
Okay. I'm assuming Ophi will kind of get up by that point, having already cleaned up after his ritual.
As the alarm has been triggered, I need another clock at 6 pips, filled up at 2. This will be... the law pays a visit.
The what?
The law.
Oh. God damn it.
Extremely good response time, especially for people who are rich. So, the door behind you is still locked. The vault is open. There is more coin than you could ever, sort of imagine almost hidden on the other side of it. If you would like, if you would
Is it
like.
possible to do like a survey or like analyze the situation to see what the best sort of stuff is to take?
It is indeed possible to whoever so desires. Actually, if you would like, you can describe to me what's in the vault with a survey action as a flashback.
Who has the best survey?
I have 0 survey.
I have 1.
Survey says
Then it's chorus.
God damn it!
All right, chorus.
I'm going to open the door to let people in. Let Clave in.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I feel like
That's a good idea.
So, Ophi, you will go back, and I'm assuming you're going to tinker to try and pick the lock on that door?
What direction does it open from? Or what direction does it lock from?
It locks from The
inside?
Or from...
Because if it locked on the
Either way,
outside, then-
one of us should be able to just open the damn thing, I'd think.
You'd
Yeah.
think.
We've got our people on both sides.
Yeah. So it would either be, do you want the crew to make a tinkering roll?
Oh, no. But, like, so if it's locked on our side,
Yes.
we would have to pick it.
Yes.
But that means that the mechanism is on the other side, which can probably just be lifted.
This is a bank vault lock? Shut up.
It's a door! It's the hallway!
It's complicated. It's complicated. Somebody has to pick a lock.
This sucks.
I have 2 points of tinker, so
It's a fantasy lock, so it sucks.
Cool. I will tinker then.
Okay, so give me a tinker, and Chorus, if you would like to try and determine what exactly, if you would like to do that.
I guess if you want. I mean, obviously, I assume there's some gold and some jewels, as this is literally a jewelry store
Yes.
type thing scenario.
And Sufjan, if you would like, you can assist Ophi.
Yes, I will go back and...
God damn it! Don't leave me alone. It's
No, you
fine.
just stay here and remember what you said was in the vault, and I'll be back in a second. Because I don't know how flashbacks work in this game.
All right, after that bit of meta. All right, so, Chorus.
Okay, so like, do I have to say what I remember someone telling me? Like, is that how it works? Like, I remember hearing a story type thing, like someone.
All right, so for 3 stress, there will be. I know it sounds like a lot. I know it sounds like a lot, but hear me out here, okay? For 3 stress, I can let you roll a survey. No matter what you roll, unless it is a critical failure, there will, or excuse me, unless it is a failure, so anything below 3. With 3 stress, you know for a fact that there is, something in this vault that is worth 4 coins by itself.
The face. yeah. I'll take the stress. Damn it.
Alrighty.
Sounds like a devil's bargain to me.
Oh, Johann Kraus. How did I not...
Yeah. So do I still have to describe, or have you decided then? Because, like I said, I was imagining gold and jewels, and then I'm imagining like a little section where there's like you sort of described, like there's a section of like magical items. So maybe there's like a few pieces of like, maybe there's like some boots and a weapon and some like rings and like some scrolls or stuff. You know what I mean? Maybe a few books or something that like look kind of maybe old and boring, but there has to be something special about them. Like,
make a survey check, and we'll determine the exact nature of it.
But I took stress!
You still have to make the check. You still have to make the check.
Okay,
That's
well,
the way-
I better get something, because I took that stress, so this is gonna suck. Okay, is my position...
Controlled, but the effect is extreme.
Okay... No bonus.
I think each stress is a bonus die.
No.
If I'm reading this
Veto.
correctly. I've scribbled in the margins, so it's in the book.
It's
All right, have fun, friends. Calm down.
I shall say, as this happened before you're planning that you're drawing on your memory, I'll say that you can have 1 bonus die.
God!
And we're super lucky today.
Okay.
Oh my god, but there's a
Maybe
1 there! That would have been so bad without the second die!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been terrible.
Oh my god!
So,
Chorus forgets her own name.
good for you.
Goes into a spiral.
You did indeed survey something. It was during one of your stump speeches, basically. So, you were in the heart. Tidwoad's was sort of within your line of sight. And you saw a rather burly-looking gentleman, very well put together, with a thick beard that landed squarely in his chest, thick, ropey hair that was drawn into a tight ponytail. And he walked into Tidwoad's with what seemed to be a tome. A glorious tome. That he did not walk out with. However, you did note that 2 attendants did help him basically put a sizable chest of gold onto a cart. A cart which he then dragged by himself, sort of, oh God, what is that called? A rickshaw that he dragged by himself back to wherever he was going. And the tome is still within the vault. You recognize it quite wonderfully, as it bears, on the front of it, a faded facade of the free city of Greyhawk.
Ooh, I'd take it.
Okay. You take it? Do you want to look into it or read it in any capacity?
Not yet. I want to be quick. I want to be fast. I want to take this, and I want to... I mean, like, what does it look like? Like, it just has a picture of the city on the outside of it?
Yeah, an embossed picture of the city, sort of on the outside of it.
If I, like, peek at it, is it like a map?
It not only is a map, it's a collection of blueprints and various other hidden spots within Greyhawk. You've basically got the Marauders map equivalent of Greyhawk in your head.
Oh my god. We going on a field trip for our next heist.
Yeah.
It's like in a video game. It has all the quest spots on it, all the secret loot, like stars and stuff like that. It's like,
oh my god, we just got the Blaze in the Dark strategy guide.
Oh my god, you're right.
Problem being, even though you do recognize the architecture and whatnot, you cannot read a single word of this.
Shit. Okay, I can still tell it's real good, and I like it a lot.
Yeah,
Well, that's because we have to say we're solemnly swear we're up to no good, and then we can read it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So if you want, you can figure out in later rolls. But as you have taken 3 stress and rolled a 6, I need another 2 pips on the sheriff's going to be paying a visit.
No.
And Ophi, or Sufyan first. You have to tell me how you're assisting Ophi with this heinous door that the gods apparently put in front of you.
Put a both ways lock.
Yes.
This is like locking your keys out of your car.
Pretty much.
I guess I can do a finesse
All right.
to pick it.
Or basically to like help Ophi kind of
Right.
angle it and whatnot. All right, so you take 1 stress, you add +1 to the player's roll,
Okay.
and you suffer the consequences of the roll, if justified.
Oh, great.
What? That's funny.
All right. So,
Tinker, what's my input value?
input value
I
should
think this
be...
is pretty control. I mean, it's just a door.
We'll say
I
this
mean,
is controlled, yeah.
just
It's a door. We've got our people on both
The
sides.
effect, it's just a door.
Standard, yeah.
0.
Bonus time.
No, well, because then it would be...
It's a 6.
Another 6.
All right, fine. This is great. Fine. Perfect. Wonderful.
Our gang hates us, but damn, do we do good work.
Effortlessly, Ophi, the door is revealed to you. You already knew the mechanics of it because, you had to tap into it magically. Now it's just a simple matter of unlocking it, and voila! As you open the door, your cronies on the other side sort of look to you for orders and support, at which point Clave sort of pokes their head in, barks that they need to basically get the haul ass and get as much as they can. So this will be controlled, this will be standard effect, no bonus die. Oh.
Clave, what happened?
No. All right. Because Clave has taken...
You just kill Katie's character. She's
No,
not-
because Clave has taken no stress, we'll say that Clave pushes themselves. And then we'll re-roll, because I'm merciful like that. Why is it so good for y'all? Why is it so great for y'all?
Can they just take a couple traumas to re-roll again?
Here, let me roll the d6. Oh, that's not much better.
That's something.
1.
Okay.
So Clave is single-handedly ruining the reputation that we have with our own gang.
I mean, Chorus didn't help with the opening spiel about like how you're filthy.
Bottle coffee.
Yeah, but Clave's like hitting them.
Like this is really not. It's so great for y'all, but as soon as I get involved, I ruin everything.
Sorry.
All right, so yeah, the crew is kind of dragging their feet, not because they are. Well, actually, no. The crew points out in the middle of the heist, y'all didn't actually say what their cut would be. Like, at all. And this is like Tidwoad, so they know that this is gonna be like a real good fucking cut. So, yeah. It's not that they want to negotiate immediately, but they do want to, like, get a sense of, hey, how much are we actually getting off of this?
Is there a mechanic in which I can speak to them on that matter?
Yes, that's an action roll. And by the way,
Through the door.
By the way, this is now 2 on the gang fucking dips clock.
All right. So I would. I'm assuming it would be a sway.
This would be a sway, yes, Sufyan. You can take stress if you so desire to get a bonus die on this, because I know that each of you has been really just banking it on rolls. Unfortunately,
I will take a stress because now that you've said that, I'm assuming this is risky or desperate.
This will be risky.
Okay. Effect standard.
Effect standard, yeah.
Effect standard. With 1 bonus die. That's a 6.
Of course. Sorry. Sorry. Caught something in my throat.
Now listen, your cut is whatever you find out there. Take it all. I don't give a fuck. Let's just get moving.
All right. You hear the cracking of knuckles and necks as they march into the vault and...
No, not the vault. No, that's not what I meant. I meant in the storefront.
They stop and then look to you, narrow eyes, and then immediately go back to the storefront. The mercenaries are kind of like feigning that, oh no, this is so terrible. How could this happen?
How could this happen to me?
So that's 4 pips on the gang fucking dips clock. All right. So yeah, tell me, y'all, in terms of your action rolls, what the fuck? What are you gonna do?
What the fuck? I feel like it's just time to start collecting and then leaving.
Yeah,
like,
it's literally like, yeah,
painless.
grab everything and run. Like, grab as much as we can possibly hold / carry at this point.
I said before that I'd be willing to go up to normal, but, like, is it possible to just take extra shit now? Because, like, I'm not that worried anymore.
Still gotta get back. We
do have to get back, and the alarm is ringing, but...
Don't go above normal. We still have 1 whole space available.
We have 2 pips left before the police are here. So keep that in mind.
Right.
So yeah,
the police are gonna be here.
Yeah, I think it's being less discerning on the stuff at this point. It's grab as much as we can reasonably carry.
Horace got like the very special, very good thing, and now we can just take bags of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I
like the jewels. I will take the jewels over the typical
coinage.
I imagine was about to reach for
currency.
The jewels, and then Horace said, "I'll take the jewels," and then Effie's like,
"Yeah,
it's enough for both of you. Come on."
All right. So, We'll say that yeah, this will be... So, as you sort of make your way out, a couple of the mercenaries are like, not arguing, but basically like making sure that y'all know that they know that it was y'all. It's basically like, come near our turf and, we'll fucking destroy you. Even though, they were pretty evenly matched with your gang, and y'all are pretty small. It's kind of strange. But as you continue along, how do you escape? Are you literally just running through the streets with bags of money? Or are you... there something
we're
that...
using the key to get us back, right? Or are we just taking that side door?
I mean, I think it might just be better to take the side door, because then we'll just be on the street rather than the second floor.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So... I'll say this, the fuzz is on its way, so if you want to get through this door without futzing with it, it'll take a wreck action.
Can I fucking blow the door off?
Go ahead.
I didn't get a chance. I wasn't allowed to.
Hell yeah, do
Whatever you
it.
do, don't roll a 1 now.
This is your this is Chorus's reward
I mean, if somebody wants to assist, they can.
in the fire magic.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, I could either... Can I just use my... If I do a push on my pyromancer,
Yeah.
then I can just send out a huge gout of flame. And
basically melt the door, yeah. If you so desire.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take the stress and I'm gonna wink and do that.
Alrighty.
Aha!
So
Yay! Got to do a thing.
Hell yeah.
Alright, so unleash a gout of flame as a weapon. I'll say this. So you concentrate the fire energies within your grasp and then unleash it upon the door. As it is
You still need me to do a wreck, or?
As it is a weapon, I'm trying to remember how they actually treat weapons in this game. Far as I remember, it's a good question. Yeah, no, we'll just make it simple. So, roll wreck just to see if there are any unintended consequences of this action.
Because I took the stress and used my pyromancer, do I get that third pip?
Yes, we'll say yes.
I assume this is risky.
Oh, yeah, this is risky.
That's fair. That's fair. Standard limited great effect.
Great effect. Oh, a 5. Okay, so
5?
That's unacceptable.
that's
Hey, come on.
well.
Only 6 here.
I'm also holding a fuck ton of treasure in a magical map.
Yeah.
I'm a
you can't
little...
Maybe I took the magical map from you when you.
Oh, I would
said
love
you
that.
would-
I would love that if
would-
you want to take that off my hands so I don't burn it down.
Yes,
then please
yes.
take that.
That's why. That's exactly what he does.
Yeah, I absolutely. Chorus does not question. Chorus hands it over to Opie. Yes, you should have this.
The book is 2 load, by the way.
Okay.
It is worth 4 coin, however, which is primo. As you unleash this gout of flame, it successfully basically vaporizes the door. And catches a little bit of the surrounding alleyway on fire.
Whoops!
Just a little, unfortunately.
That's collateral. It's fine.
It just happens.
When the police get here, they can put it out. That's part of their job.
Flames lick up the side of the wall, and funny you should mention that. As this burst of flame emanates from this space, the fuzz arrives. So-
Oh, no wonder.
But in the front, and we're on the side, and then they still should get distracted by fire when they find that. So, lots of time, right?
Yeah, so your gang has been sort of stuffing their pockets full as best they can.
They're
And
gonna get stuck.
as the fuzz arrives, they bolt as quickly as possible.
Scatter!
Yeah, it's basically scatter. Throw it to the ground. Scatter! Clave follows suit as long as everybody else does. And actually, Clave will have done another consort roll
Oh, Lord.
with 2 stress, controlled with great effect with no bonus die. And of course, so with a 6, as you exit out the alleyway, you note that there are a couple of other, shall we say, persons of a punchy persuasion who cover your escape through the alleyway. So even though your gang is sort of going through, Clave called in some favors, and the police are now tangled up with these sort of innocent bystanders who are impeding their pursuit. So,
Good job, Punchy Boys.
in addition to that, the fire is kind of growing. So the sheriff actually has to... Sheriff Cubbin, who you see as sort of this thick, mustachioed, very walrus-like kind of figure, very, very much a sort of barrel-chested and, shall we say, not all that brilliant character, sort of currently whips around and yells to his men to put out the fucking fire. This is Tidwoad's for all God's sake. Which, you know, they swiftly shift attention to the more pressing matter of, you know, evacuating the residents and whatnot. Tidwoad, it is rumored, at least, as each of you returns to your hideout, did not bear witness to the events, but is currently on the scene. And so, because this is just a nightmare scenario for Tidwoad, we shall consider this a fucking successful score.
Hey!
Yay!
All right. So, damn. After the score happens, we must now determine your payoff. Which, whew boy. So, let's get to 146 in the playbook. Aha. So, the crew earns 2 rep per score by default. If the target of the score is higher tier than you get +1 per tier higher. Given that Tidwoad is pretty high, I think that I said he was a tier either 4 or 5? So, let's say that he was a tier 5. Yeah. That sounds about right. So, y'all were a tier 0, if I'm not mistaken, yes?
I think so. I think we suck.
Yeah, we started.
This
off
was
with
literally
base.
our first. Yeah, this was our first time doing stuff.
It's a tutorial level.
All right. So, you get 5 rep as well. So,
Ooh,
so
I'm looking
that's
for where to put that.
7 rep.
It's in the crew mode underneath the name.
Oh, I see it. Yep, rep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Take 0. If you keep the operation completely quiet and nobody knows about it, no. You earn 0 rep. The crew earns coins based on the nature of the operation and or any loot that they seized. You get... I'll say that you get 6 coin, which is a standard score, which is decent loot. Because of the nature of a smash and grab, it's kind of like your crew basically rifled through the coin that they knew was valuable and didn't like take the time to survey what exactly was really valuable. And Ofi and Sufjan, you didn't get the chance to sort of go through the loot. Chorus was the only one to kind of parse it, but 6 coin, that's pretty good. You record the coin on the crew sheet, or
So that can only hold up to 4.
Yeah.
Goes into
Do we
a
have a
vault.
vault? Do we need to get a vault though, or do we have a vault?
You do not have a vault.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And remember,
Maybe we should give some of it to people we need benefit with anyway, and that way, because we physically can't hold it, I don't think.
However,
So if we have to pay it off immediately.
or actually, no, I'll say you got, you got the 6 coin, but here's the thing. most districts have crime bosses that expect smaller crews to pay a tithe for their scores, which is very strange considering that Tidwoad was the boss of that area, and you probably put a big dent in his plans. You get the sense that there's another boss that's going to be asking for a tithe, so it's your crew rank +1. Yeah. Your crew tier is 0, I think?
Yeah.
That's what it was.
So it's 1.
So it's 1.
Take 1.
As you don't know who you're supposed to pay, we're going to have a little bit of fun and give you a clock. God. And we'll put that at 4. And we'll say that the new management pipes up. And also do remember that Ewan did ask for a little bit of a cut. So if you would like to stick to your word, you can. And I'll say that if you cannot hold more than 4 coin, Ewan will take the surplus.
I think that's fair considering that he basically did all the information gathering.
Yeah, I
for
think
us.
that's more than fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
So, who exactly visits Ewan to drop off the coin, as it were?
Is anybody volunteering?
Anyone volunteering?
You're muted.
I'm not muted.
Oh, sorry. I thought I saw Julian mouthing something.
No, I was just wondering who's
Who's volunteering to go visit
Hopefully,
Ewan?
we know you want to fuck the priest. You can.
Yeah,
go.
I know. That's what I was waiting
That's why
for.
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh my god.
We assumed it was,
We're being polite.
Yeah. Fuck the.
I want to, but whether or not Ophi wants to is another matter.
Oh my god, who's making the drop off?
He'll make the drop off
Okay.
with
So,
my 5 stress, me walking on dead feet.
yeah. So, Ophi,
Um,
we'll say the morning after, having gotten no sleep, you do go to the Church of St. Cuthbert, which is in Diamond Lake. You note that there are a few fervent prayers being muttered by a few people sort of on their knees before an altar that bears an image of St. Cuthbert, or St. Cuthbert's symbol. Ewan is among them, sort of tending to their wounds, some of which have been sort of self-inflicted, and generally just kind of trying to reassure those that are in the pews who are not that sort of religiously inclined that they are welcome here and that St. Cuthbert shields all. And as he looks to you, he straightens up, makes his way over, and nods into like a corner office.
yeah, because I imagine Ophiuchus is probably not the most religious sorts. We'd probably stay off to the side till he's gestured off.
Yeah.
He'll go up to the side office.
Heard there was a fire at Tidwoad's.
Can't imagine why there would be a fire.
Oh, simply unimaginable.
Could be divine intervention.
Of a sort.
And he drops the coin down onto the desk.
Oh.
I hope that's enough for your share.
And this wonderful donation. And he sort of rifles through it, noting the specific amount of it, kind of looking through. This wondrous donation. Shall it be on behalf of anyone, particularly? Or shall we say it's anonymous?
His eyes roll at that. I prefer it stay anonymous. No telling where one might question where coin comes from.
You don't have to question when you have faith. And he takes the 2 coin and puts it in the desk and sort of nods.
Well, that's for those who have time to be faithful.
Good day to you, weary pilgrim.
He kind of, his eyes will roll again at that and be like, keep us informed if anything else crops up.
Sure, I've not the slightest idea what you're talking about.
Right. It must have been the wind. He kind of goes to slip out.
Ewan kind of smiles after you and makes sure to put the coin to good use. All right, so you now have 4 coin, which I believe you can, be fine. You can set the scene, meeting with... If not, just gloss over and move on. Don't screw around with the players when it comes to playoff. Nope. There was definitely a reward and whatnot, so congratulations. You did indeed get rep and coin of pretty good, especially for your crew. Pretty good stock. Now we have to actually go with heat. So, there are obviously prying eyes and informants that populate Diamond Lake. When you commit crimes, you acquire heat. After a score or conflict with an opponent, your crew takes heat according to the nature of the operation. This was loud and chaotic with high exposure, so we shall say you take 4 heat. This was a high-profile target as well, so this will be 5 heat. It did not happen on hostile turf, because you decided that your lair was on the south side. Killing was not involved. You are not at war with the faction, so as it stands, you are at 5 heat.
Did my subterfuge kit help to lower that at all in terms of kind of like masking our identities or whatnot?
I will say that that is a good question. That is a good question. Unfortunately, even though you did mask your identity, your crew did not take pains to sort of mask who they were.
Okay.
So even though you might not have been specifically attributed to the scene or anything like that, your crew was definitely pegged as part of it.
Hashtag blame Clave.
Hashtag blame Clave.
Golden Joe and the Suggins gang.
Pretty much. So, when your heat... this is important. When your heat level reaches 9, you gain a wanted level and clear your heat. The higher your wanted level, the more serious the response when law enforcement takes action against you. Also, your wanted level contributes to the severity of the entanglements. You do not have any sort of... wanted level at the current moment because Chorus was incarcerated for a short time, and that reduced all wanted level to 0. That's, I think, how that works, or at least generally, conceptually, how that can work. So, Chorus, since you spent the first episode in jail, you've made sure that the crew is sort of scot-free at the moment. And now we must determine your entanglements. Let's see here. I just need to roll... Well, actually, no. I don't want to roll this. I think that... Michael, you want to roll this. Roll a d6 for me, please.
Okay. Oh, piss.
Best laid plans.
That's a...
Wait, you didn't click the button. You're supposed to click a button.
Oh, is there a button?
There's a button that's underneath hunting grounds.
Oh, shit. I guess I gotta re-roll then.
Oh no, what a terrible thing.
The one wasn't too bad, I feel like, looking at the list.
Oh. Well, I don't even know where this button is, so I guess I will just leave it at that.
All right, fine. That's fine. So, find the column that matches the crew's current heat level.
It's gang trouble or questioning.
Yeah. So,
God damn it, Clave.
roll a number. Wanted level is 0. Oh, excuse me. If wanted level is 0, you roll 2 dice and keep the lowest result. Since you literally cannot go lower than 1.
Okay.
What if I roll a 0?
It's impossible.
Try the roll engagements thing this time, then.
I see. So.
Yeah, because there's
I guess it doesn't matter. You said it takes the roll 2 and take the lower, so it's going to be 1 no matter what, right?
Okay. Interesting. So, gang trouble or questioning. Entanglements are detailed on the following pages. Each has a list. Interesting. Oh, no. So this
None of them are good, honestly. Looking through the list, nothing is.
Oh, no.
Did
Okay.
Clay just fuck us over? Is that
So,
what happened?
If we have to put Clave in like a bag, that's
Put him
fine.
in gay baby jail. That's what we'll do.
well, unfortunately, in the immediate aftermath, there's been a little bit of a problem here. A problem that's sort of very, very obvious. So, yeah, Chorus, you know your friend, your fellow seditionist, who's been sort of, helping with Triskellion's sort of signal boosting within the city of Diamond Lake?
Huh?
Well, it just so turns out that Sheriff Cubbin decided maybe to have a talk with this pyromancer, considering there was fire found at the scene of quite a violent robbery.
No.
And unfortunately, your friend has been brought in for questioning. I must now make a fortune roll to see how much they talk.
No.
Or
We murder her before she
We
gets
can
to jail.
we can
Let's just kill her.
Wait, no, we can forfeit 1 rep. And we did get a lot. We could go down to 4 rep, but that's still good.
or 2 coins.
We got 5.
So, your friend, whose name is, I believe, Faizani or something like that?
Yeah.
We'll say he's a Baklunish, was brought in for questioning, as this is the second fire-related incident that has happened in quite a short span of time against persons who are in power. So, yeah. What you doing, everybody? You can either take +1 heat, or excuse me, I have to make. You can either make a fortune roll to see how much they talk, pay off the blue coins with 2 coin, that's it.
Oh, am I reading the wrong one?
Go
I was
on.
reading. Okay.
Yeah, questioning is on page.
Oh, I was
152.
reading the gang trouble because it says gang trouble or questioning, and you went with questioning. Okay, my bad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I went with questioning.
That's
because
fine.
this
I
is
see it.
official-
I see it now. Yep.
Yeah, this is official Diamond Lake business.
Yep.
So do you
Make a
pay
fortune
2
roll to see how much
coin, or do you suffer the consequences of the questioning?
Yeah, so if we wait and there's a fortune roll, then we can either get +1 heat or +2 heat on us, or we can pay it off with 2 coin.
I mean, we just got the coin.
Yeah, why don't we just take the heat?
I'm fine with taking the heat, but
It's
can
fine.
I ask? Is my connection to the police force, does that have any bearing on this
Duncan-
mechanically or no?
That is actually how. Actually, we'll play this out. So, Duncan sort of makes his way into the warehouse. Like he knows that you hang around here, but he doesn't really know the 411. So he's like,
The top floor is a laundromat.
"Oh,
That's our front.
It's my house.
Excuse me. Do you
Never
know
mind,
where-
it's a house.
Do you know where Sufyan is? Anyone? Anyone? Oh, bloody. Duncan is kind of like worriedly like looking around. Sufyan, I'll say that you're nearby.
Yeah.
For mercy's sake.
Is that Duncan?
Yeah, it is. And there's a little bit of a problem, if you don't mind me saying. I've been shut out of the investigation. He comes up to you and like looks you straight in the face.
Come on back then.
Whoa.
All right. Well, what's the issue?
It's been shut out. Look, I don't want to assume anything, but it's a fire starting, and it's against the powerful. Look, I'm not really good at putting 2 and 2 together most times, but when I saw that her friend were being brought in, it's sort of
Now, whose friend? What's happening?
your friend, your friend's friend, the one that you wanted to. Oh shit! You don't know?
Who's been brought in where, when, and why?
Fajani, one of Curtis's friends. Brought in for questioning related to... Well, he kind of pauses and sort of looks out. You see kind of, even now, the sort of smoldering of the remnants of the fire, just kind of still... This is probably like the afternoon after. After the hit.
Well, what are our options then?
He kind of blinks a couple of times. I don't know.
So let me get this straight. You've come into our home to bring bad news with no solution.
I mean, look, all I'm saying is... He kind of stops himself. Look, Cubbin's been in a little bit of trouble. Maybe this whole problem can go away if I get the coin.
How much coin you want?
He describes 2 coin. So that's basically, you got 6, you're down to 4. You'll now be reduced to 2.
Duncan, have I not been a friend to you?
You've been a decent sort to me, aye?
Yeah. And now you're coming here, trying to rob us out of house and home?
No, Rob you, that's right. He just kind of like blinks a couple of times and mutters under his breath.
I tell you what, Duncan. You let me know how much they say. But besides that, I'm afraid we got nothing to help you.
All right. But to say this is time sensitive is an understatement.
So you better get moving then.
Suppose I should. And he kind of like narrows his eyes and like grits his teeth. There's a little bit of tension there. And unfortunately, unless somebody would like to provide some reason for the coin getting into Duncan's hands, we'll be making a fortune roll. And Sufyan, why don't you make that fortune roll for us?
Lovely. Excuse me.
What do I need money for? I'm going to be dead soon.
Yeah,
It's
how many
fine.
dice?
You just roll fortune, so go to your crew mode.
I've clicked roll fortune.
Yep.
And it just says number of dice.
Let's see. Roll. This is. Let's say this
It
is
says-
2 dice. Just 2 dice. This is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what it says in the book.
Right.
It says roll 2 dice if it's a normal person who you want to keep quiet. If they're an experienced underworld type or someone tough, give them 3 or 4. If they're soft, then it's only 1.
Are they an experienced type?
No.
Okay.
Like, they're experienced to the sense that they believe in the cause of, like, Triskelion and whatnot. But,
Okay.
like, this idea of, like, oh, yeah, by the way, we can just knock down institutions willy-nilly because they're evil, that's kind of a shade too far.
Okay. Oh, fuck me running.
You. That's
Snake eyes.
3 That's 3 ones in a row.
You have to make up for the 6s somehow.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's that's 2 extra heat
Ouch.
that you suffer from this. Which, yeah,
One away from wanted.
just 1 away.
Damn.
We're 2 away from wanted.
Oh, on mine I have 3 away from wanted. What happened?
So we had 4 plus
Yeah.
1, and now
Five.
plus 2.
Oh, okay.
So now we have 7, and there's 9 total.
Yep. 9 gives you a wanted level.
Okay, so we're at 7, and
Yeah.
there's 2 spaces left. Yeah. Okay.
What a surprise. This was a pretty big job to take as the tutorial. But, unlike most sort of Souls-esque games, you passed and killed the first boss. Quote unquote. All right. Wow. I'm shocked, truly. Well, and then we have to go down for your downtime activities. But I think for now we can call it. Because that's the first score that your crew has been involved in. Like, the first real big thing. And that was a rousing success. Like, really. That could have gone south way quicker.
Yeah.
Level up.
Yeah.
Level up.
Level up.
Level up. Do you remember how much rep that you gained as well? I believe
5.
5.
5 was the final total. Which, damn, that's just impressive. But I think, honestly, as this was part of the best laid plans, I think it's time to call it. We'll handle downtime activities when next we meet and see... actually, no. As a final bit of housekeeping, I think I'll take care of some of the clocks. So, Chorus, I believe I gave you a clock called Revolution or something along those lines.
No, I only have one. I only have a clock called The Sheriff is Done with My Shit.
Okay. Unfortunately, that does gain... how many pips
What? But I'm not I didn't do...
I know you didn't, but your friend...
It's at 2 out of 8.
It is now at halfway.
No!
Listen, your
If
friend...
my math is correct, that's 3.
No.
No.
Yeah, no. Very creative math that you have there. Michael, by the way, can you give me a refresher on the clocks that I've given you? Payments
I
due
have-
and...
I have a clock, and it's payments due that has a pip.
It has another pip.
Another pip.
It
Which, by my math, should still be 1.
Unfortunately not.
It means that you lose one, actually.
No.
That's you know what? That's right. I'm gonna clear that.
It is now at 2 pips.
There we go.
Do you want to be more creative? I can say it's at 3. Do you want it to be at 3?
Do it, you coward. No.
No. So that's that. Ophi,
I don't have any clocks with
You
you
don't?
yet.
You don't?
No.
This one's called Ophi Fucking Dies. It's at 11 of 12.
Hell.
This is now a clock given to you. It is
What? I didn't do anything.
Yeah, that might be...
What?
That might be what it is, but 6 comes. 6 pips, it is at 1.
What?
This clock will be titled These Old Familiar Faces. Or, excuse me, not familiar. Familial faces.
Bleh.
Ugh.
Hi, Mom.
Yep. So, keep screwing around. I'm sure that your family will be more than happy that, this has happened.
I'm assuming that's coming from me failing my prowl roll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because there just happened to be that one mercenary that sort of maybe might have heard of, seen this really interesting face. Almost like there were...
I covered up my diamonds, whatever.
Yeah, but it was strange freckles, like black as coal. Yeah.
Maybe I'm the dirty mine worker.
You know dirty mine workers aren't allowed in Tidwoad's establishment.
All right.
He's xenophobic.
Oh,
All
no.
right, and with that, I think it's time to end stream, everybody.
Ugh.
We thank you, everybody, so much for joining us today. This was a fucking blast. Like, just to lay it all out there. This was marvelous. I'm so happy to run it. I'm sure that probably some roles got butchered and maybe some rules got ignored, but hey, we'll figure it out as time goes on. As it stands, my name is Jason. I am at JustJasonPlease on Twitter. You can find my pinned tweet, which basically describes wherever I'm going to be at any one point in time. Hopefully, in about X amount of minutes that I will calculate off stream. You can see me on Susanna Grace's channel, running Grains of Truth, which is a Witcher TTRPG game. You can also find me just basically everywhere and anywhere over at We Are Nerdsmith on Wednesdays and Fridays. Excuse me. Doing some primo stuff there. And yeah, I mean, generally, I'm just around on the internet. So if you like what you see here, follow me on Twitter. And also, follow these fine people on Twitter because, yeah, they're great. I should go ahead and roll out the red carpet, of course, for the first on the list. Jess, who are you? How'd you like today? And where can we find you?
Who am I? I don't even know anymore. I'm so confused. I'm kidding. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for letting me blow stuff up. That was good. But yeah, I'm Jess at go_JG. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at go_JG and lots of other places in that same name. But yeah, I stream a ton of stuff, so come hang out on my channel for everything from Stardew Valley and the new Borderlands 3 to lots of different TTRPGs like Spire and Genesis and all that sort of stuff. Find me here on Greyhawk on Mondays, on Pro Restar's channel on Wednesdays, and over on Scraticus Academy on Thursdays. So, lots of stuff.
Yay, fantastic. At go JG. At
go_JG. Not
Twitter.
IG. People often are like IG? No, that's a J.
That's one of those funny long hooked eyes.
Yeah, it's a little different than an I. It's a J.
It's a Canadian I.
This is an I, but it's a little different.
Michael, where can we find you? How do you enjoy today, etc., etc.?
Hello. I had fun. It took me a very long time to wrap my head around it, but when we started succeeding at everything, I figured this must be a good game. My name is Michael. I am the Dungeon Master of the Dungeons, Dragons, and Dives podcast, which is exactly what it sounds like. We're following around Fantasy Guy Fieri, searching for the mythical lost city of Flavortown. But more pressingly, you can catch me outside. How about that? Was accidental. But you can catch me tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on Julian's channel, wherever he is, Jacqueline Hare, because we are going to be continuing our pirate adventure on Gilded Tides, a 5th edition pirate adventure, like I just said. We are dangerously close to wrapping up what I'm calling book 1 of this adventure. The party is about to invade a fortress called the Kraken Spire, and take on the villainous Captain Ebonmane, who is definitely not just Scar from The Lion King.
He totally is.
So we'll see how that goes. But that's and then you can catch me here.
All right, fantastic. Yeah. Good to have you here, Julian.
So,
same questions. What's up?
Nothing. Well, I mean, a whole lot just happened. I figured that our best laid plans could have gone a lot worse, so I'm happy that everything went well, and I am excited to see how everything burns in an effigy next session, because that's how karma is with these kind of games. You can find me over at Twitter and Instagram at triangle_art_JW. We already plugged our Monday game. We will not be having our Friday game because I will be at TwitchCon selling there. So you guys can check us out at table number 96. And if you come by, I'm going to see if I can get the camera to actually show it. You can get an enamel pin of our emote for free if you drop by and give us a follow. So be sure to do that. I'm done.
Fantastic. All righty. I think that is it, except, of course, for the thanks to our sponsors that Greyhawk renders. Bookending every stream, of course, we first and foremost must always thank the Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers of the Greyhawk channel. Thank you so much for your support. And also for Roll20, their support has been invaluable as the world's leading virtual tabletop. Try it for free over at roll20.net. Heroic Maps being our official battle map sponsor. You can actually check out their library of more than 300 maps. Oh, that's so many maps. Over on drivethrurpg.com.
There's just so many.
There's so many. I don't know why I become constipated whenever I talk about how many maps there are, but man, there are so many. Oh, boy. You also have tabletoploot.com, tabletop loot, purveyor of fine polyhedrals that... purveyor of pristine polyhedrals. That was probably what I was going to go for at the beginning of this whole thing. Anyway, you can enter in Greyhawk in the coupon code box for 15% off any dice order that you make through them. Just a lovely little perk that you get, courtesy of the Greyhawk channel. And then Patreon supporters and Twitch subscribers can get coupon codes to ruinc.com and cantrip candles in the private section of our Discord. Hey, the Greyhawk channel has a Discord. You can probably find it somewhere around my head. Outside of that, this VOD will be posted to the Greyhawk channel's YouTube. You can go check it out and... have a good time catching up on a lot of wonderful, wonderful games that are taking place all the time here on the channel. If you follow us on Twitch, you'll get that lovely, lovely notification whenever we're live with just some of the most primo content that I think exists in the TTRPG sphere. As it stands, however, we must bid you all adieu, say goodbye. Hope to catch you in the live audience one of these days, 11 a.m. CST, and all relevant time zones on Mondays. This is a Monday. And yeah, for now and forever, we thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Adios.